Hello and welcome back to another Read Aloud. I am your lovely host, Miss Disney, and we are continuing the Descendants trend by reading the next book of Return to the Isle of the Lost, a Descendants novel. We have just read The Isle of the Lost. We have read the first Descendants junior novel. I am well on my way. Challenge accepted. Let's get started. I've got the most brilliant idea, Prince Ben, the Isle of the Lost. Disney's Descendants. Once upon a time, after all the happily ever afters, when all the fairy tales were supposed to have ended, came to a new beginning when the teenage children of the most evil villains in the land were sent from the remote Isle of the Lost to the majestic kingdom of Auradon. As you surely have heard, Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos, the descendants of Maleficent, Mistress of Darkness, Evil Queen, and famous for her sleep-inducing apples, Jafar, Grand Vizier of Avarice, and Cruella de Vil, Harridan Extraordinarian, were sent far from home to learn how to be good. After childhood spent learning to be just the opposite, the villains, being villains, had other intentions. Mal and her friends were tasked by their evil parents to fetch Fairy Godmother's wand and use its power to return the villains to their former glory and rain vengeance on their enemies. However, after arriving in Auradon, these young villains were soon flummoxed by the friendliness of the natives and the abundance of sugary treats in this new land. They found themselves struggling between carrying out their sinister mission and enjoying their new, deliciously cookie-filled life. Were they falling in love with Auradon while plotting its demise? Mal was certainly falling for someone, the handsome prince of her dreams, Prince Ben, whom she'd spelled into falling in love with her, only to realize she didn't need magic to capture his heart. Ben was as smitten as she was, and there was more to him than his brilliant smile, for he also had the heart of a king. When the time came for Mal and her friends to make their move on Fairy Godmother's wand during Prince Ben's coronation, it was not Mal who grabbed it and caused the chaos that followed, but Fairy Godmother's own daughter, Jane. As the invisible barrier over the Isle of the Lost shattered, magic returned to the villains in full force, allowing Maleficent to escape. The evil fairy turned into a fire-breathing dragon, terrorizing all of Auradon, determined to claim the wand as her own. But Mal, Evie, Carlos, and Jay stood together, and it was Mal who won the battle and wielded the wand. In the end, her power for good was greater than her mother's talent for evil. Mal and her friends are back at their studies at Auradon Prep, and Maleficent is now a tiny lizard, reduced to the size of her heart. And this is where our story begins.